really doing anything. It's just doing.
Hey.
Yeah, do we have it? You two got to try, right? So let's go whilst he tries. 6, yeah, 6. Yeah, I'm hearing the ghost notes. Good. And one technical thing you need to take note of: make sure your ghost notes and your main notes are not resonating on the same volume level. Yes. So do we have this technique? Okay. So now let's try to add the second note. After playing the 6 twice, 6, 6, then you play 2. 2, 2. Yeah, 6, 6, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, then yeah, 6, 6, then 2, 2, 6, 6, 2, 2. Do we have it? 6, 6. Okay. 2. Okay. So let's pause. Let's pause for brief announcement. There is a new link. We all have to share it so that viewers out there can also see what is happening. Okay, so basically that explains it. And maybe to you guys out there who are finding it difficult to play the palm muting, you can use the normal regular plucking, and then you can use the normal plucking, and then you will still be fine. So this is how we do. You are still going to pluck with your thumb, but this time around you wouldn't position your hands like this to mute the string. So your thumb does the main notes, and then the 2 fingers. I'm playing key C, okay? Yes. So your thumb does the main notes, and then the 2 other fingers will do the ghost notes. So you can take it slow for the start, and then with time, you'll be able to achieve the speed that you need. I hope we've learned something new, yeah? So this is it about being able to use techniques to enhance your play, right? Is anyone having any questions yet? Any question? Say again. No, this is not juju. This is practice. Yeah, Igweje, I like what you are doing. Yeah, Igweje is sounding exactly like me now. Oh, that's it. Okay, can we have some silence so I take some questions? Yes, please, your question. The notes I'm using. It's 1 5 6 3 2 and 6 5 2 1. So re do so la mi re la so re do so la. Yeah, but I mean this is just for a demonstration purpose. But you can also choose your notes that you can feel comfortable with. Yes. Yes. Okay, with the left hand, you will not fret any notes. It will just mute the string. Like you guys have been playing the normal ghost note. Yeah, just this normal. So the only notes you fret is what you will be playing with your thumb. So I hope we get a concept, right? Any more questions? Yes. Let me take this question.
Question is, how well do you adjust the no the pickup balance
Yes.
to sound well?
Okay. This is a very good question and a very technical question. Every bass guitar, every brand of bass guitar has its tone. And then, in as much as the guitar has its tone, the tone itself comes from your playing style. Because there have been some practical examples that, let me narrate this story which happened. I went to a place, it was a crusade. A friend of mine was playing the bass guitar, and then he was on stage. Yes, he was on stage playing, and then he saw me and was like, oh, he could come take the bass and then play. My first 3 notes, the combo C's, with the same EQing, everything the same. I just took the bass like this. But the question is, what happened? Now, your tone comes from your fingers. Yes, your tone comes from your fingers. And then last year, during this bass camp that we had Besiako. Yes, shout out to him. He was here. I happened to visit him some number of times in his house. And I noticed one thing about him technically, that if I'm with him in the house, the same bass guitar I'm playing, everything being the same. Once he takes it and then he plays, it sounds different. So I asked him, how are you able to achieve this? And then he laughed. And he asked me why I'm asking him that question. I said, I want to know. So I want to share what he told me. He said, when he is practicing at home, he uses a combo do, but the volume is very minimal. Doesn't open like we can hear ourselves. Just open it a little bit and make sure that when he's playing, he can hear himself play. So that gives him a very strong block. So anytime he's playing, when he gets, whether the instrument is good or not good, as for his fingers, the tone knows he's worked on them. So that is how he's able to achieve that. Then I also took that as part of me. So anytime I'm practicing anything, I just make sure my fingers is down. Then I play hard enough so that I get the finger strength. And this is something which is actually happening nowadays, that most of the guys out there, we guys out there playing, play very soft, hiding behind amplification. When it happens that way, you will never have a good tone. And those people always complain about bass and then they need a good bass. No bass is good and no bass is not good. Everything comes from you yourself. This same bass I'm playing, somebody can pick it and and it will sound better or worse, depending on how you decide to go about it. So with the pickup balancing, personally, I prefer it's always in the middle. That's me when I'm playing. It's always in the middle. And then any other dynamic stuff that I will need, I'll do it myself. For instance, it's in the middle at the moment. Playing around this side. We see how it's sounding. Yes, so playing around this side. The same bass. I've not changed anything. And then so you have to know how it sounds like playing around here, and then so maybe I can play something like this. So you have that round sound. You can have that. Depending on what you want to sound like. So everything comes from your technique. So this is probably what I do. I hope that answers your question.
But I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Okay, so it means that for every particular technique you are playing, the position of your right arm, you are a right-handed bass.
Yeah.
The position of your right arm, very important.
Exactly that. That is something that we need to really pay much attention to. Sometimes I see people playing every 5 seconds, they touch the knob. Every 5 seconds, they touch it. I mean, if you've worked on yourself, you will not be doing that. If you will be doing that, then you will know what you seek to achieve. Yes. So your right hand, very important. You need to know how to position it at what time. Any more questions?
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Oh, guys, I'm taking a bit.
You are part of us. Yeah.
Okay, so as much as you are using your right hand, okay?
Yes.
As much as you are using your right hand, you have parts of the finger that you're using. We have the pad type, that is pad of the finger,
Yes.
and then the tip of the finger.
Exactly.
Can you explain technically on particularly the technique that you use? Okay, whether you use the pad of your finger or the tips of your finger.
Okay. So
Yes, for the plucking hand.
for my plucking hand.
Yes, not the left hand.
Okay.
The left hand, I'll come to the left hand.
Okay.
But I want to really, maybe we share for the class to understand whether you're using the pad of your finger, this is the pad, or the tip of your finger.
Okay.
Because I know that also contributes to. So kindly help us, Ziko.
Okay. So now with these two parts of the finger, the pad side and then the fingertips, what influenced my choice as to which particular part I should use is knowing how I want to sound like on a particular note. For instance, with the same groove I'm playing, if this, I'm using the pad part of my, that is this side, not my fingertip, this side. It gives me a round, wholesome, heavy sound to buttress the rhythm I want to use. So, now let's see how it will sound when I'm using my fingertip. So, depending on how I want to sound like, if I want to, I know maybe we are playing a song, I'm playing this rhythm. and then it gets to the verse, the vocalist needs to be heard. So I would then switch to the part of my fingers so that I would have a mellow sound to groove with. So maybe I have a very mellow sound, a very warm sound, so that the vocalist could be heard, the lyrics. Then maybe when it gets to a high part, I want to pass a phrase that I think needs to fill in a certain point. I would switch from that part. Let's say, so if I want to maintain my rhythm, I would then use the part of my fingers. And then if I want to play any phrase that needs to be articulated, I would use my fingertips so that the articulation will be very clear and punchy. Yes, so this is what I do. And then in as much as I'm playing, I think about all this, when to do what. So it's just not playing, but there are technical elements that comes in there. Yes.
All right, so that's a powerful and intelligent answer. Okay, is my face showing? All right, so no, you're not done. Okay, so I think what we have to do is that when you are practicing, you need to use every resource that you have. Okay, if you have to practice, practice here, practice here, practice here. Okay, and master every part, because as he was saying, if you don't know all those things, that's when you have to be turning things to get a particular tone, but you can get a lot of stuff from your fingers. Is that okay? And then with the picking hand too, you need to understand the advantages of whatever. Even when you're playing here, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Okay. When you use the pad, you may not go as fast as when you use the tip. All right. So if you are working on your speed and you are using your pad, let's say you are a tip player and you want to master the pad, there will be some sluggishness. But you need to understand that if you master both of them, your tip is going to be averagely like faster than the pad. But the tone that you get when using your tip will not be the same tone you will get when using your pad. All right. So to be a master or whatever, practice with your pad as well as with your tip, and know when to use which one because of the sound you want to hear. Now, before engineer asked the next question about the left hand, I think that one too, it's important. I advise that when you are practicing your scales, all right, whatever finger exercises you are doing, use the tip of the fingers to fret. It's difficult, it's not easy. Then when you come to maybe the string crossing stuff, then you have to learn to use the pad to bar, and so that when you have to, fret chords, you can actually bar two or more notes at the same time. It's very important to learn how to use the how do you call it, tip. Now, when you use the tip also, when you master using your tip to fret, it gives you advantage on, like, when it comes to speed than pad. All right. When you use the pad, you are going to get a more rounded and heavy sound. So don't limit yourself. Don't just learn. First I used to tell my students, use the tip, and they thought that was all. But no, that's just for the scales. You need to practice using the pad as well. Is that okay? Did you understand it? All right. Thank you, Zico. All right. Any more questions for Zico? Any more questions for Zico? He's coming to perform with the drama. And then we. Odum. Okay. Okay, let me.
Okay, so for me, I pay particular attention to a lot of details.
Okay.
Don't be surprised I'm seeing. I realize at the point that you use your full fingers this way to capture some good notes. So what's about it? What's the magic? And I realize you don't do that at the wider gaps. do that exactly. You do it on the smaller side. So for the young ones who want to know the magic in there, let's know. Because I realize that the notes that comes out of those ones are really good. They sound very round. So compare doing the appropriate thing from the right, then adding it to what you get on the left to get the clean note. I don't want you to finish explaining the left, and then we'll miss out on what you do on the right. If you do something different on the right, get the left combination to us. Because sometimes I think use your pad when you use your palms here. Something good comes out. So explain that details.
Okay, that's a very good question. And this is a kind of question I've been having or receiving a lot of times from my followers on social media. Yes. Now, this is the answer. The actually playing around this register of the bass gives us a very tiny sound. So let me use left hand. Let me start with the left hand. So once I get here, except maybe I want to play a phrase that I want to come very clean, maybe, and then maybe playing. You can see the difference. Just this, and then yes. So that's the difference. So I wouldn't want it to sound so tiny. So I decide to play with the pads, and then I'm not playing on just one string. So I tend to extend the fingers. I remember once somebody was like, "You play the thing and then you don't let us see what you are playing, what notes." I just don't do it. I do it for a purpose. Yes, so that I get more heavier sound. It's just like using a fret wrap around the side. So it has an effect it gives. And then this is personal to me. Normally when I'm playing the bass, I don't know how, but anytime I come around the side, my thumb I just don't feel comfortable playing like this. And somebody told me he tried it and then he couldn't. I don't know how this came about. That's with me. So if you see my thumb here, it's nothing. Whether with a strap or without a strap, I don't know how I'm able to, but I managed to be able to hold it in my palms here, with my thumb here, and then able to play. So that one, with my thumb being here, that one is it's not of any influence to whatever happens.
It's not.
Yes.
But the thumb, I mean, a very good one. My senior man here is saying that the thumb will most definitely adapt to what you are playing.
Okay. With basically when it's here, when it's here, it doesn't do anything. But the only thing it helps me to do is to be able to stretch out to the other parts of the fret. When it's here, I don't feel comfortable. Looking at how the bass has been designed, look at the back. This bass is a bit up than side bass. I don't feel comfortable with my thumb when it's around the side. That's why I then bring it around here. And normally the bass I play is not this 24 frets, 21 frets. So if I need any notes around the side, I then don't get that comfortability around here. Yes, so that's how come I play comfortably like this. Yes, and then with my right hand, just as we spoke about in the moment, I play with my pad to have a simple, this one that I can teach you guys. As I said earlier on, I use 3 fingers. So let's do this.
Hello.
So I'm playing in key C. I'm just playing on the 5, then 5, 1, 5, this. Okay. So this is 5 with my thumb, and it's constant, like a bass drum. So I'm playing this 2, and then 5. It's just like playing so, and then re, so, re, so. Just this notes. Creating. So you see my fingers positioned this way. I'm just barring the notes and then, yes.
All right.
Exactly. Some flexibility, yes.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to say something. I think, the fact that he comes here and then automatically his thumb moves to this place means that, hold on, please, hold on. Yeah. It means that, the way his body is designed, okay, there are certain things that will be easier for him to do.
The medical
way
aspect.
your body is designed, there are certain things that will be easy for you to do. Now you need to find that out. Nobody can help you. You understand? And hold on, please. You need to listen to me. That's very important. That's why we are here. Okay. Now, if you may try doing that and it won't work for you, it doesn't mean you cannot get. Hello, are you listening? Okay. It doesn't mean stop multitasking. Listen to me. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that if you don't put your thumb there, you won't get that sound. That's what he's trying to say, that the thumb over there is not influencing the sound. It's just making him find it easy, move around that side. Now, I realize that there are people, when they start playing, let me just try. Let me stand here. I'm not taking the bass today. So those online, I will take it. Don't worry. No. Okay, so there are people, when they start learning, they put their thumb on top like this. Your hand cannot move. But when your thumb is over here, you can move around. Do you understand? So it's just one of those things. It just helps you to move around, okay? But then I realize there are things that, just as he's saying, he does the thumb, index, and middle for whatever he's doing. I know a friend of mine is Zambian. Very good. He just uses the thumb and the index. But the notes he plays, there are a lot. And I cannot just use the thumb and the index alone. So I tried learning the thumb and it wasn't working for me. But I use the thumb, index, and middle to get the sound. I'm like, that's okay. There are people who will not even use the thumb when they are playing those suku stuff, but they'll get it. Dangra, he uses the thumb, but I saw him play a groove like a suku's groove without the thumb, just the index and middle, and he was getting the same sound. I was like, no. So you should find out what works for you and then stick to it. Is that okay? Have I answered it?
Perfectly.
And now, another question.
Any more
but
questions?
yeah, we have, I teach, okay, and I'm still taking students. Just that from now, I'll be taking only, online students from now to December. So the one-on-one is, And so if you want to register, you can contact me. Zico teaches, Jay teaches, Igwe teaches, and Eddie also teaches drums. So if you want to learn out there, you can always contact me and I'll refer you to the appropriate source. Okay? All right. So basically, I think more questions for Zico, right? Is that fair? Another question for? Okay, no, let's take from Isaac. Isaac. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Isaac.
Thank you very much. Okay, I know there are a lot of beginners out there, someone like me, now learning. But how do we get to know that we are not about doing what we are not supposed to? Like getting to know that there are songs that we can use the technique, and there are songs that we can just use plug into.
Okay. So, using the normal fingering technique, then using the palm muting, all these two techniques have its unique sound it produces. When you practice them, you would be conversant with how each of them sounds like, and then you would then decide, being that music driver on your bass, you would then know which one to use. For instance, if, let's say, I'm playing a song and then it's a verse, I know I need to tone down. If perhaps I know I can play using the finger style to tone down against maybe for a verse, And then against which one would you prefer? Hearing the sounds. That is a personal decision that you need to make. So you will decide which to use for what. Whether you're a beginner or not. You are the driver when you are holding the bass. So you need to know which route to use to arrive at your destination. So I hope that answers. Yeah, so that decision will come from you.
Okay, so I want to know. Maybe there will be just 3 set of questions.
Okay.
Very first one is, okay, we are in a Ghanaian setup. So we like high life. Like, which genre of music, as beginners, we very much associated? Because I realized that quite a wide variety of genres. And if you don't know how to play a particular genre, it's like kind of feel, but if you don't play a particular genre, you are like isolated from a particular group, some kind of things about people who play foreign and a gospel, people who play local. I mean, what's your take about that as beginners? Some people will be forced to have some drift over all of these things. What do you say about it? And after that, my questions will come.
Okay. That's a very good question. And then it applies to me personally. I've experienced that before. Now, a kind of music or song I would then recommend to you is then you should listen to good music. That's it. Good music. And whichever music is good music is subjective. Now, with this music journey that we are in, everyone has their direction and then their purpose. When you know your direction and then you know your purpose, you will know which kind of music you should listen to. And then, with what he was saying about when you don't play one particular genre of music, you are being seen. Yes, I remember using myself as an example. Coming up, people were like, and I'll go local, to me, foreign. And then, let me be realistic now. In this country we are in, if you don't play foreign songs, you are seen as you are not good. Yes. But let me give you this analogy. Are you going to travel outside the country, let's say to US, and then compete with them with playing Marvin Sapp songs? God was good. I had a chance to travel to Spain. And then this simple Japonesa groove and then these local rhythms that we undermine in this country, the whites were just amazed seeing us play those things. So the question is, are we now coming to learn all those riffs? They are good. Yes, it's good when you know them and you use them when necessary. But are we coming to learn them and then you go to a foreign land, which I know a lot of us wants to now move, say Jakpa from this place, and then you compete with them. You compete with them on playing these foreign songs. No, you need to, one, as a musician, get rooted with your culture and then your kind of music. When you know enough of that, I'm not saying you should know that before. No. Maybe I can be a bass player. It's necessity demands me to go and play in an ICG church. That's where I'll get my bread. I need to get vested with these foreign songs and then knowing and learning that alone because it's meeting my purpose. But when I started playing this secular bands, I remember the one who employed me said, "You're a gospel player." And I asked him, "Oh, are you a gospel player?" And he was like, "Oh, you are a gospel player." Yes, everyone will know you are a gospel player. And then it took me time to be able to realize this, that the reason why I was categorized as a gospel player is that I like playing a lot of unnecessary stuff. And now, this is what distinguishes a beginner from a professional. When let me not even talk about music. A song has parts. If you understand it that way, it will change a lot of things about you. We have verses, we have choruses, sometimes we have bridges, sometimes pre-chorus. And then my transformation from the gospel side entering into the secular side with the person I met opened my eyes to this. That if you are a bass player, get a pattern you play for your verse, get a pattern you play for your choruses, and then maybe if there is a bridge, follow how it is. Anytime you play a riff or a scale, make sure it has a meaning. What I mean by it has a meaning, is it linking or calling for something? Maybe a song has two, let me say, cycles of chorus and then to a verse. It will be cool for you to hold the groove for the chorus, and then when it's getting to a verse, that particular point that the drama will roll, if there is space, and that one underlined, if there is space, you can then try to throw in a cool lick, and it will make meaning than every 2 bars you want to play something because you think you know something. And my boss, Gadel, told me something that if you see somebody playing steadily, it's 2 things. Either he knows what he is doing or he has nothing. Play. And this is the explanation. If you know what you are doing, you know that, okay, there's a verse, I need to hold it cool. Then maybe the song is then moving on to another part with, you can throw in a lick or a riff. That one, fine. But somebody doesn't know much on the bass, and then once they have their groove, Sakumono Broadway, and that one too is there. So it's 2 things. Either you know what you are doing when you are playing steadily, or you don't know what you are doing. So this is it. Let's listen to good music and then look at your needs and then work on your needs. If you feel you need more of this Western style, that's what you need. Listen to much of that. If you feel you need more of this local style, then you listen to much of that so that you can have enough vocabulary to play when you are performing. Yes, I hope that answers the question, yeah?
Okay, so can I ask a question? Yes, a question. So
Today, you people won't kill me with questions
you see,
here.
sometimes when you go to social media, right?
Yes.
There are a whole lot of covers out there. But then you see some comments and then you're like, what is this person talking about? How do you go about your covers? Sometimes there's something we call shedding. You get it. You get the song, you play it your way. You understand? You realize that people will be saying, this guy is overplaying. You understand? So how do you distinguish that from the fact that maybe the song has a chorus, the song has a bridge, the song has a pre-chorus, that kind of thing? Because sometimes you doing the cover, you know what you're doing, but there's a comment that is going to come that if you don't take care, it's going to, throw you off what you're doing. You understand? So how do you go about it? You know, sometimes you can get a cover, the person will not even play one groove. It's all about chords, all those kind of things. You understand? Somebody will play groove, you understand, to the song. So how do you go about that?
So this is a very good question. I'll just say a little and then Papa Jason to share his experience on that. With me, for instance, if you judge the way I play with my covers, then you are lost. Yes, because before you see me playing a cover, depending on how I feel at that moment, maybe sometimes I will feel like, okay, Charlie, this song, I like it. Let me then do anyhow on the song. Then you see me doing a lot of things and you'll be like, this bass player is not steady. No, the way I play my covers is not that same way I play on shows. And even more precise, on trackings or recordings. Very different. And then, if you really know what you stand for, you know what you are about, you are never disturbed when people make such comments. So just ignore them and then you stay focused. And Papa Jason will add to it.
Okay. Charlie, overplay, forget. Forget everybody and overplay, Yeah, you should know what you want to do, all right? If it's a cover, you want to express yourself, and that is the time you get to show what you have. But it should be in context. Now, when we say overplay, the word overplay can mean a lot of things, depending on who is saying it. Because there are people who don't even know music at all, and they just feel that once you're not doing tum, tum, whatever you are doing is overplay for them. But that's not overplay. I know some bass players who overplay, and they overplay. We like it. That's not overplay. That the person is releasing the things, and we like it. We just want it. So, it's just that some overplay, when we really talk about overplay, sometimes it's unnecessary stuff happening in the song. But if it is relevant to the music, and when you are doing a cover, Charlie, kill it. It should be relevant. Whatever you are playing, whatever they say overplay, it should be relevant to the music. You understand? There are people who are not fancy bass players like myself. We just keep to the, that. But somebody like this, he would do everything. But when you see him on set, playing with a band, sometimes one groove pattern throughout, oh, you can check it. You get it. So you just have to know what you are. Where he will stick to the thing. This man. No, where we are, we can't stick to the thing. No. This is a bass camp, all right? And what we are doing here, we need to be expressive, you understand? All right? So, yes, know what you are doing and kill it. All right, so right now we're going to give Zico the chance to perform with all of us. So whatever I ask you to do, just do it. All right? Are we good? Are you having fun? Okay.
Yes.
So after Zico, we're going to have Odum do something with us, and then
Okay.
yeah.
So what are we doing? I'm doing with you guys. So it shouldn't be from me. What can we do? Let's enjoy ourselves. He's saying we should do Ghana, Africa. Okay, so the drummer gives us a drum pattern, and this is not rehearsed. I mean, anything that will come up, we don't know anything about it. We are innocent. So this key C.
2010. 536. How many times I've listened to him? The consistency. How many times he has also probably listened to so
are loose. And I neck is cool in your neck. For that matter. Just visit me. If you think I have, just visit me. And you know whether I have or I don't have.
Eat at the mall. No. We'll talk there. But it is possible. It's possible. So, but if you tell us you have a tiger now, what would you tell us tomorrow?
See, that's why I said it's.
All right, so
It's for security reasons.
engineer, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See, just one. I'm going to preach. I'm not going to preach. I think I should. Are we good? Are we good? Can we sit down? If you want to know all about the guitar as a machine, have a seat. Let's talk about machines. If you want to know the guitar as a machine, have a seat. Okay, so I'm here with you. Okay. Feels good already, right? You know, credibilities are always very important. I like to put a brief thing about my professional electrical engineer, where I work. Yes. Like emphatically, I want to mention the fact that professional electrical engineer was taking keen interest in electric bill. So I'll be able to make a lot of sense out of what the electric bill is. Sure. So let's have a conversation. So if we take a guitar, a typical guitar, in whether this or that, what will be able to say about it? I'm not asking anyone a question, but I want everyone to tone down, have a conversation. So if we're considering this electric guitar as a machine, means that supposed to every machine is supposed to be efficient. Machine is supposed to perform. So if we understand and categorize between a very good bad one, That's right. That's it. Means that from even the look of it, you can know whether a guitar is good or bad. That this is a good machine or a bad machine. Right? So when a car starts, you get to know a car is good by just the noise of the car, right? How about if it moves? You get to know car is dancing to the left or you get to know. That is how I want us to see this equipment here. Bass guitar. Mainly it has three main parts. The head. I'm not now going to digest all the basic. Those are the areas. So the headstock, right? The head. You can identify guitars with the head, right? This is a popular LTD head, right? We know. So if you see other guitars' heads, you know, right? And then this is the. Someone help me. The neck, or another name. Another name. We're having a convo. The fretboard, call it the lover board, call it the work board, the board, quite a lot of things. Call it the neck or neck. And then this is the body. Can you relate? The what? Same applies to this one. You can see. Let's look at the body. The two bodies, sampling just this. Realize that one has both. How many volts? 1, 2. That's a lot. And this one, no bolt. What happened? Sure. Some Jay is saying it's embedded in the body. How? Okay. So I explain. So in a nutshell, this looks like